Hey, John Ferraro here, and today I'm going to be talking about how to stop the binge eating, how to not fall off the wagon and eat tons of junk, how to have some tasty items and have the things you love without opening the floodgates into going backwards on a plan. If you really get good value from this and this helps you, I have many other trainings coming out to help people in their fitness journeys coming out, so make sure to subscribe, click the link, and let's keep moving forward. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself first, just so you have the backstory. When I was 19 years old, I weighed 310 pounds. I played college football. I loved being in the gym, but I could not control my eating. When I first left high school and went into college, and I got to go to the cafeteria every day, it was like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Let me tell you, I put away all I could eat, and I'm like a dog. I eat till I'm about sick. And I did that about 21 meals a week, and while going to two-a-days with a college football team, in the first 3 months of college, I still managed to gain 15 pounds. So it shows you can have coaches, trainers running you, making you lift. That's not what's going to change your body. What's changing your actual chemistry is going to be the nutrition. To gain muscle, yes, it's pretty 50-50 in the gym and in the kitchen. But if you want to get rid of the excess body fat, we got to turn up that diet and we got to take care of it. Now, the big thing there is you have to be able to make it sustainable. So you got to enjoy the food you have. It's got to be simple. And then we got to stop the binging. So you got to be able to go off and have a couple drinks or have the dessert with your friends on the weekend. And that's fine. The thing is, the next day it can't fall over. You can't go home and pound away a gallon of ice cream. It's got to be a little more sustainable, and it's got to be doable. So you love yourself, you enjoy your life, and you're happy to keep moving forward. So what I'm talking about a little deeper now is the binge eating. We'll start there. Now, I was talking with a client 2 days ago, and she would fall off and had a bunch of problems when she was having a few different family issues. Then she had work stress, and all this stress would hit her. She was tired. And then you have that internal conversation. We've all had it. Screw it. You know what? I'm having the candy. I'm having the dessert, and I just don't even care. So when you know that's hitting, that's where that stress eating starts. You need to have a plan to get around it. Now, everybody's plan's a little different. Everybody functions a little differently. Myself, I go on either a little bike ride, walk around the block, take the kids around for a short walk, and I just breathe. And I try and put in perspective the good things. So as everybody usually has their health and everything else, I have a couple friends who, bless their hearts, their kids are suffering from some really big illnesses, and that's not something I've had to deal with. And so I remember that I don't have that, and my kids are healthy, so that really pushes. So you got to find the silver linings, the things that are still good in your life. Be thankful for them. Finding that gratitude helps push away the stress. Secondly is what's going to relieve it. So breathing and moving helps me. I also have a sweet tooth. I know some people do not, and they like savory, and that's different for everyone. So I've created 4 different recipes that I put at the end of this video that I really like to make that help kill my cravings without even going off and feel like I'm eating bad. Third is how to go have those times where it's a birthday party, you're having cake, you're having pie, you're having ice cream, to enjoy it with your friends and family, but then not overeat on it and go right back to where you need to be the next day. So the emotional eating, finding the plan. Why are you stressed out? The first step is you have to recognize that it's happening. So the person I was talking to earlier, she likes to eat a full family-sized bag of Cheetos. Now, obviously, we all know that's not good for us, but she would get to the point so stressed out, it didn't matter. And she's just going to sit there, watch some TV. It's comfortable and enjoyable, so her body thinks that's easy. And our biology wants us to conserve energy and be comfortable. So that's our million-year-old limbic system. Is all about survival. So what's it do? Yeah, be comfortable. Don't get out of bed. Stay on the couch. We're inevitably lazy creatures to conserve energy to live longer. So she would eat those Cheetos instead of the couch. Now, so what I had her do, I was like, go buy them. She's like, I don't think I should. I'm like, you're going to. And if you don't now, you'll get to a point and you'll go buy the whole bag. So I want you to buy it now while you have control. So she buys it, puts it into small Ziploc bags. And I'm like, I want you to put these small Ziploc bags in all different cabinets around your kitchen. She's like, but then I'm going to see them all the time. Yes, but you're not going to do it until you hit that point. Now, when you have one of those small bags, because you're hitting that point, if you go back to the kitchen and grab another small bag from another cupboard, you'll know you're stress eating. So it's to help her realize when it's happening. Then we put together a couple different plans. One, like with her and her husband going on a walk. Secondly, is making a different meal for herself that is more in line with her goals, that she also enjoys. And a couple different plans so she can see that's happening and what to do immediately to stop it. Secondly, is when you do go out, it's your whatever friend, partner's birthday. You should have cake on your birthday, your partner's birthday, your kids, your parents, your best friend. Yes, go enjoy life and enjoy those indulgent things. The main thing is the portion size. So the way you have to slowly shift the mind is your standard for yourself. Every night I go to bed, if I don't brush my teeth, I just feel gross. If I eat junk more than like a meal, if I eat junk 3 days in a row, I feel gross. If I skip my workouts 2-3 days in a row, I feel gross. So it's that standard I've set for myself. And you slowly have to do this. This won't happen with a snap. It won't happen with motivation. It won't happen because somebody said to. It's got to be little steps in a direction and changing the way you think about it over time. That's why when I personally work with people, we sign them up for 16, minimum 12 weeks to get started. Just because I know it's going to be a waste of their time and my team's time if we don't actually change these pieces inside your mind. So changing your mind and your standards are what's going to stop you from this binge eating, so you know exactly what's happening and how to make these changes. Now, I got a couple other videos coming out to help you balance out your macros if you want to go a little more in depth. But more, the biggest thing that someone just starting out in their either weight loss journey or being healthier, even if you want to gain muscle, I firmly believe if you put all the food you eat across any one day on a kitchen table, over half of it should be vegetables. Now, I personally eat a handful of meat. If you're vegan, vegetarian, more power to you. I prefer to eat meat. I believe that a good, healthy animal and the right portion size of animal protein is extremely healthy for you. Now, if you don't want that, whether it's religion, whether it's because of cruelty to animals, or because of the crappy meat industry in the US, where most of the meat is not good for you because of hormones and everything else, that's fine. So I won't go on that tangent. If you want to make sure your body's at its healthiest, I have not found a person who would disagree that having 50% of the food you put in your mouth being from vegetables is any better way than that. It's one of the best ways just to move forward. You're going to have nutrient value coming in. You're going to have the fiber. You're going to get full so you don't overeat. It's just going to be many different pieces. I put in a few recipes to help stop the binging that I like. My personal brownie batter. My 7-year-old daughters love it, so you know it tastes good because 7-year-olds don't eat just anything.
Is it any good? Is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
Like it? Hey.
I have my smoothies that I like to freeze, then slightly put in the microwave for a little bit so it's like ice cream texture. I have in there my apple, I call it apple streusel, oatmeal with a little apple and cinnamon and vanilla protein, pretty tasty. And some other, and I think I have green goddess dressing. So I have a lot of recipes coming in here. Go ahead and watch that, and we'll keep you moving forward. Comment below how I can help you more, and I'll put some free coaching together for you to help everyone keep going. Cheers.
I fill the blender with greens. We got red chard, kale, spinach, and egg whites, all in the Vitamix. So that's all blended down. Then I put in 4 scoops of vanilla whey protein, regular size scooper, 4 scoops of old-fashioned oats, and I put in about 2 measuring cups of unsweetened vanilla almond cashew. And then we blend again. We added 2 bananas. If you have a good blender, you'll get a nice smooth green look. And then we just put however big pancakes you want. You can do big or small. Got some medium ones going here. And just like regular pancakes, you're gonna wait until they get a couple bubbles popping up through them and there's holes. Then we flip them over. Okay, now you're starting to see some bubbles come through. You can kind of see the edges pop. So that's about the time you want to flip it. So you take your spatula, go right under, and flip. Voila. Oh, and go number 2. And voila. In a new dish. So then now I'm going over chopping up the apples, cooking the oatmeal, gonna put it all in this pan, gonna mix in vanilla protein, dash on some cinnamon, spread the first half of the pan there with the oatmeal mixed with the vanilla protein, cover with half the apples, cinnamon. The second layer of the oatmeal with vanilla protein, now you want this to be fairly, the viscosity of this to be a little bit more watery so it can move a little easier. It's a little thick. So we're about to bake it, so you want it to be a little thinner for the top layer. Just layer of oatmeal protein on there now, putting on the other half of the apples. Apples on there, I lightly push them down into, then we sprinkle on the oatmeal or the cinnamon onto the oatmeal, just lightly on top. Make sure we get all of it nicely on there. Beautiful. Into the oven at 350. Go coming out the oven. Oh man, it's looking tasty.
What's inside of it? I wonder.
There we go, looks great. Right, making my chocolate smoothie, so I got out my organic cacao powder, of course, stevia in the raw, chocolate protein, some spinach, kale, egg whites, and unsweetened vanilla almond milk. All getting ready to go into the Vitamix. 2 handfuls of kale, 2 handfuls of spinach, and stuffed it in there. Now putting about 2 cups of liquid egg whites in. Then putting in about 1.5 cups of frozen strawberries. Blend it down. Now we got it liquidy. About half full with the kale, spinach, egg whites, and strawberries. And I'll add in 4 scoops of the chocolate protein. I'll put in 1 cup of cacao and 1/2 cup of stevia. And then I add the liquid unsweetened vanilla almond milk to get the consistency I like. If I want it thicker, I can also sometimes add some frozen bananas. Cacao and stevia. You also have to scrape the top of the outside to make sure the powder's not sticking to your blender, as you can see here on the side. So I'll go through with a spatula and just get all that off there. Like this, in a glass, like a smoothie. What I like to do is fill a bunch of these glasses up and freeze them. Put all of the chocolate smoothie into these glasses. I will now put them in the freezer. Delicious strawberry banana smoothie. Here we go. For my strawberry or strawberry banana vanilla smoothie, you're gonna start off, you need a vanilla protein powder, you need some frozen bananas or just frozen strawberries, unsweetened vanilla almond milk, liquid egg whites, some spinach, and for these I usually make a smaller batch and I do them one at a time in my NutriBullets. Put in 1/2 cup of the liquid egg whites, 1/4 cup of the unsweetened vanilla almond milk, put in 1 frozen banana, about 6 or 7 frozen strawberries. Before I put in the banana and the strawberries, I put in a handful of spinach, and then 1 scoop vanilla protein powder. Now we're gonna put it into the blend. All right, my rice cooking tutorial. I like to do a blend of, this is a wild bistro blend, and just a brown basami. So I do 2 of these, so I make a lot, lasts me a week. I do 4 total cups of dry rice. I'm gonna do this pot. So the first thing I do, put in a little oil, then I throw in some minced garlic, like so, boom. This thing on hot. And then I put on sea salt, crack a bunch of that in there. Then you let that heat up, spread it all around. So I got sizzle, 2 cups of bastami, and nicely, perfectly measured 2 cups wild bistro blend, and we stir that up. Get it all nice and stirred in there. Next, put in 2 cups of chicken bone broth. Get that simmered in there, and that is chicken bone broth. Then I get my water hot, and I add in 6 more cups of hot, water. Now I leave it on high heat until it's boiling, then I turn it down to a simmer until most of the water's gone, then I let it cool with the lid on until it's done. All right, today I'm making my famous Green Goddess dressing. So when you want to start with that, the number 1 thing we're gonna be starting with is gonna be water and avocado. Also, you're gonna have apple cider vinegar, a handful of green onion, cilantro, a little parsley, the lemon, a little bit of garlic and olive oil. I'm gonna put it all over here into the Vitamix, and let's blend it up. I blended it, add some fine sea salt for taste, and I got a pretty good consistency here, and it's pretty tasty. Extremely similar to $4 Green Goddess at Trader Joe's. And boom, now I got a big old thing I can use a lot of. Making my delicious brownie batter dessert. First, I get about a cup and a half of cooked old-fashioned oats here, cooked. These are all nice and soft and squishy and wet. I have about a half cup of dry going into my NutriBullet. I'm gonna put a handful of raw almonds. I use a little bit, probably a quarter cup of ground flaxseed. I'll use 1 cup of cacao powder. Then I'll use a quarter cup of shredded coconut. And I'll add this stevia, or pure via, and swerve for sweetener to make it sweet. I'll put it all together. Now we have the dry ingredients in the NutriBullet. We have the old-fashioned oats, raw almonds, shredded coconut, cacao powder, ground flaxseed. It's sweetened. I have a stevia, and a little bit of this swerve mix. And then I'm gonna put it all in a bowl with the wet oatmeal. Ran the stuff through the bullet, get it all in the bowl, and we scrape in the wet oatmeal. Now this will be like kneading dough. You can add a little bit of cashew or almond milk to it if you want it a little smoother, but if you want it to be into almost bars, and you can put it in the refrigerator, just keep kneading it around this way. A little splash of almond milk in there, but it's starting to take shape. All mushing together, and this is my brownie batter. Now I scooped the brownie batter out of the big bowl into 2 small serving dishes. Let's see how you select them. These little butt fluffs.
We're princesses. So we have brownie batter and
Is it any good? Is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
Like it? Hey. Hey, don't make a mess. This is what I have to deal with.
The spoon was stuck to all of the brownie batter, and now I can eat it. Ah!
Well, 6 and 7-year-old approved.